Well, Sean, congrats on the win. Quick work, but how happy were you with the performance and what little time you had in there?
Yeah, it went perfect. You know, you can't complain. Seems like, I guess 3 months ago, the same thing happened. I got in there, I did what I needed to do, and got out. So it feels super similar to that fight. I think this one ended a little sweeter.
Right.
I'll have to go. I haven't really been able to watch it, but it felt good.
And that fake uppercut into the straight that put him down, is that something you worked on and noticed that you could take advantage of against Eddie Wineland?
I think that's just something. That's just another a tool I have in the toolbox. Is that same thing, that kind of fake uppercut into a right hand. I have so many tools that one of them's gonna land. I have so many, and the tools I have they're not just little shots. They're knockout shots. I don't know. I have a lot of knockout finishes that are still to come.
And after your last fight, I asked you how long before you were going to start getting prepared for these 25-minute fights, these 5-round main events. So after this, what do you want moving forward after 2 back-to-back performances like this?
Yeah, that's kind of up to the UFC. I think a main event kind of sounds like, that almost sounds right. It sounds like something that should probably get done. We'll see. Hopefully, I'll sit down with Sean Shelby and we'll talk and figure out what's next. But yeah, main event sounds nice.
And I think you mentioned you want to go to the negotiating table because you know your worth right now. There's a couple fighters that, like Jorge Masvidal and John Jones, have been very vocal about wanting a bigger slice of the pie. Masvidal was just on SportsCenter questioning the split between revenue. So what do you make of all this and going into the negotiating table?
Yeah, I think our situation is probably a little different. Those guys have had big fights and a lot of fights and big wins. I'm not asking for a lot. Like, literally, what I was asking for is still less than everyone made tonight. So I just want it to be fair. I think the whole week was kind of about the sugar show, and I was supposed to renegotiate after I knocked out Jose, and they wouldn't. It didn't happen. So I don't. And it sucks that I even have to bring that stuff up, and it has to be about money, but it shouldn't have to be. It should be. It should be pretty fair. I think it should be something that we all agree on, and I definitely just want to get paid what I feel I'm worth.
Sean, online, obviously, everyone saw the knockout and they react to you, but like you said, all week it has basically been the sugar show. Do you pay attention to that sort of stuff?
I'm actually on social media way less fight week than I am usually, but if I make a post and I go look in an hour and it has 40,000 likes, and it's like, okay, I'm getting a lot of attention on my social media right now, and I know that's got to be worth something. Social media is huge. Like, I felt like I was, really the main attraction for this card. And I say that, it might sound silly, but that's just what's going on in my head, because I don't really pay attention to too much to who else is fighting, what's going on. I just focus on what I got to do.
The division's in an interesting place right now. Do you have anybody in mind? I mean, obviously you need to work out the contract and stuff, but do you have anyone in mind or a logical next step for your next fight?
Yeah, it depends. Is Fight Island going to be a thing? Are we going to be able to, I'd like to continue to fight in Vegas, I guess, but if Fight Island's a thing, then we can start looking at other opponents that are outside the United States and stuff like that, but I don't have a name right now. It depends on who's healthy, who's coming off a win, how some of these fights might play out tonight. There's too many things I got to figure out, but I should be able to figure it out fast. I have no injuries. My shin hurts. I think I just landed on his elbow, my shin. But other than that, I'm healthy and ready to go in a couple weeks, a month, or whatever.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Sean, congratulations on a fantastic performance.
Thank you.
It happened so fast. So from your perspective, can you talk us through that finish?
Yeah. If I watched it, I'd be able to kind of. I know I landed a good spinning back kick to the body that really hurt him. I knew that hurt him right when it landed. I land that a lot. It's a dangerous kick. I landed it nicely, and from there I took over. Anybody that I'm going to be taller than pretty much everyone I fight. I'm going to be faster than pretty much everyone I fight, and that's a dangerous combination on top of the skills that I have. So, yeah, I think I'm just better.
It was the viral knockout, I'm sure, that you were after, and you spoke to the media about this week. And then you did the Mark Hunt-style walk-off at the end. It does, although obviously you're happy with the performance, you don't show that kind of emotion that you're super excited with what you just went out there and done, and surely you know how impressive it is. But what are you feeling inside?
I feel calm. I expected to knock him out in the first round. You know, when I'm doing interviews and they what's your prediction? I don't say a first round knockout because I think it sounds cool or because people want to hear that. It's because I truly believe I'm going to knock them out in the first round. I don't know why I don't feel that's just crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I knew I was going to do that and it just happened how it was supposed to. I do feel really calm. I felt calm after I knocked out Jose too. I don't know. I feel good though.
And if you talk about what's next, and you said, that's up to the UFC, etc. But you talked about, working a lot on your ground game. You showcased your striking tonight. If you could pick a perfect opponent to showcase some of the other skills, you said you have so many of them still to show us. What kind of opponent would it be? Is there a name or a style you'd be looking for?
I mean, ideally, if I could pick who I'm going to fight, I want to keep fighting strikers, people that want to stand and strike. That's what I really, really enjoy is knocking people out. I know eventually it's going to go to the ground, but that's why I prepare. I do more jiu-jitsu, more grappling than I do anything because, I'm trying to get my grappling as high level as my striking, and I think it's almost there. And I'm just going to continue to keep getting better on both those. And I'm going to be a very, very, very dangerous bantamweight. And I want to become the best bantamweight ever. And I know I have, I'm going to be in this, I'm 25. I'm going to be in this sport, hopefully on bantamweight for the next 5, 6, 7 years. So I have a lot of fights to put in, and I have a lot of work to do. And as far as who would be a good next opponent, I mean, it kind of depends what UFC, what we talk about. But if we can keep fighting strikers, I'm down to keep knocking people out.
And last question from me. If we look at the top, then you want to be the very best. And we talk about Jose Aldo and Jan, fighting for the title. What's your thoughts on that fight, and who do you think will come out on top?
Yeah, that's a really interesting fight. I'm actually really excited. He did lose, Jose lost, but I thought he won that fight. So, but it's an interesting matchup. I think Peter has a little more crisp boxing, but both those dudes are so high level and explosive, and it really is a toss up between those two.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Sean, Jim Griesaber, cage side seat back here. Just want to ask you where you feel you are potential-wise. How much do you feel like you've tapped into? How much better can you get? Not just your all-around game, but I mean, that power's there. You have that confidence. It's like deja vu in the apex with the walk-off. Almost like a baseball player, they hit a ball, they know it's 500 feet and it's gone. But how far along are you, and where would you say you're going in terms of how much better you can actually get?
Yeah, I don't think you can not. I mean, as much as I'm in the gym, I'm going to continue to get better. I don't think I'm going to go to the gym and not get better, especially with guys like Augusto Mendez, Tim Welch, and working with Brandon Harris. Like, my team's so solid. I'm never going to outgrow Tanquinho. You just want 80cc. It's not. My jiu-jitsu, it's going to take a long time to be able to get to that level. So that I'm not worried about not being able to get better. The team I'm around at the MMA lab and Tim's gym and the people that I'm surrounded with, like, I can always get better. Whether it's jiu-jitsu, striking, mental things, stretching, breathing. There's just an infinite things that I can do to get better. So. I'm just going to continue to get better until I can't fight anymore and then figure out what's next.
Haven't had to see much of that jiu-jitsu, being a lab guy, that's prevalent there. Being an Arizona guy, we see that. But it's interesting to me, the confidence is there, the power's there, the speed's there, and the love is there. Everything's there. You love marketing yourself. You're really enjoying every minute of this. Is there any part of it that you're not enjoying, or do you love every bit of it?
No, I love everything. Even cutting weight. There's something about cutting weight that's just... I feel like everyone should have to go through a weight cut, and even when you're almost on weight and it's the night before and you're close to weighing in, and I don't know, there's something there you can find like some kind of peace there. It's not fun at all. I'm not saying it's fun. It's definitely miserable cutting weight, but I even enjoy those kind of moments. So yeah, I'm really enjoying everything.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean, over here on the left. So with the smaller cage, I know you like to move around. We knew he was going to come right out and attack. Did you feel crowded at first? It seemed like you kind of did, but then you adjusted really quick. Tell me what that process was like in your mind.
Yeah, it just felt the cage was noticeably smaller. That definitely I felt like it was smaller. I like to come forward, establish dominance at the beginning. I don't have to necessarily push someone back the entire time, but I want to come out, establish dominance, and then I can move around. I don't mind moving around, going backwards. I'm not getting hit when I'm going backwards and I'm juking back and forth. I'm not really in danger. I'm not getting hit. They don't know what I'm gonna do, and then I'll pop them with something. So, even if my back's up against the fence and I'm moving back and forth, I'm good.
Yeah, and then once you kind of set up that body kick, jab, like combo, that was your money. I only saw him really land like one shot really flush. How good did that one get you?
Yeah, he landed a right hand. I remember Jose kind of landed one little thing too, but when you're in there and the cage is even smaller, you're probably gonna get hit. I'm pretty sure I went into this last fight saying I'm not gonna get hit. I'm gonna put this dude away. I'm not gonna get hit, and pretty much it was as clean as it gets.
Yeah, it really was. Last one for me, just to piggyback off on something she mentioned earlier about your affect. I've covered your fights 3 times now. I've talked to you before and after each fight. I've never seen you smile. What makes you happy? I would think you would be ecstatic right now.
Oh, I'm happy. This is awesome. I fucking love this. I'm happy. I don't know. I am enjoying this moment. I've enjoyed the whole entire fight week. I've enjoyed all of today. I'm very happy right now. Schmo, what's up, baby?
Hey, on Monday on the Schmo Zone podcast, we talked about the Last Dance documentary, the Michael Jordan greatness, mentality, competitive mindset. Did you watch it during this week?
I have not been able to watch it, but I definitely want to.
You got to watch it.
I
And then
will.
lastly, you get the superstar comparisons to the Israel Adesanyas, to the Conor McGregors. How do you maintain your composure and maintain even keel and live in the moment?
It's just a lifestyle. It's something I try to do. I'll forever be able to continue to try to be in the moment. It's nothing I'm going to be able to perfect, and it's an everyday thing. And during fight week and moments like this, and being in the walking out before I walk out, it feels good. I feel really aware of everything.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good.